What's going on, guys? Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to video 5 in the 31-day challenge. So ever since I shared the Champlin lawn care site here on the channel, a ton of you guys have been asking lots and lots of different questions regarding single page sites. Such as, can you use them in other niches, and what's the URL structure? How do I set it up? Do I use an exact match domain? What are the advantages? And why would I want to do that rather than building out a page to target 20 different cities at the same time? So I want to answer those questions here in this video because a lot of you have been asking them, and it only makes sense to answer them here in the video rather than trying to explain everything either here in the YouTube comments or in my Facebook group where people are asking the question. So by far the biggest advantage with the single page site is it just takes hardly any time to build. If you're someone who's brand new to this, it might take you a day or two to get used to the software that you're using. Again, I always recommend Thrive Architect. Otherwise, there's Elementor Pro. If you wanted to go to the Envato network and get someone's custom WordPress theme, you could do that. However, I like the simplicity of drag and drop with Thrive Architect. And both Elementor Pro as well as Thrive Architect are very similar to ClickFunnels in the matter of drag and drop. However, I would not ever recommend ClickFunnels for something like doing lead gen SEO, because one, you don't own the site when it comes to ClickFunnels, and two, you don't have the ability to really narrow down everything when it comes to the SEO with the on page and the meta title and the meta description. So if you're someone who's just getting started in this, and a lot of people say, oh, well, let's use ClickFunnels for this, and maybe if you're running ads, but if you're doing SEO, no, you do not want to use ClickFunnels. You want to be using WordPress. It's going to work so much better. And if you're someone who doesn't really like WordPress, Squarespace, or Wix, or maybe even Weebly will suffice. However, I still recommend WordPress without a doubt. So in addition to it just hardly taking any time, especially if you're someone who's been at it for a little while and you know how to build a site out and you know what type of content you need to place on there, you could build out one of these single page websites in 30 minutes up to probably about 2 hours time, depending on how much content you are putting on there and if you've already have the content created before building out the site. And that's why there's a decent window of variance there. But either way, you're building out something that's going to pretty much last for a very, very, very long time in a very short amount of time. Whereas when you look at working like a job, you work for that hour, you get paid for that hour. But then to continue earning money, you have to continue working with this one-page site. You build the site one time, you do the off-page SEO, and it really exists there as long as you make sure you pay the hosting bills and keep the rankings maintained. And it's going to continue making you money for a very long time. But either way, the big advantage with those single city focused domains is that you're able to rank a lot quicker depending on the competition. If you're going for Miami plumbing, it's going to be ridiculously competitive no matter what. So those are just some things to be aware of. Now, before you start building out these single page sites, there are some disadvantages that you need to be aware of. So if you are using a super optimized domain for one single city, it's going to be rather difficult to be able to rank that site for other cities. So let's say you built a site for all about Valdosta, Georgia plumbing, and that's your domain name, or you have Valdosta, Georgia plumber. So if you wanted to expand that site beyond just Valdosta and you wanted to get to Warner Robins or Augusta or Savannah or any of those other cities, then it is going to be extremely difficult as compared to maybe just building a more broad location focused website like georgiaplumbing.com, for example, where you would then build out city plus service pages to rank for each one of those cities, aside from the homepage being all about the quote-unquote headquartered city of the branded site that you're creating. So it's going to be more difficult to rank for other ones. So you have to look at it with the mindset of, okay, we're just using it to rank for one keyword. So just keep that in mind, that you can't really expand these sites very much. You have to really just build more of them rather than make one site and make it gigantic and have it rank for hundreds of keywords. And so the next big disadvantage that you would encounter with a single page site is higher cost to generate additional revenue. So being as you can only really rank for one city at a time, you're going to have to build more of these sites in order to be able to scale out and scale up. So what that means is more domain costs that you're going to have to purchase each year, more hosting accounts that you're going to have to use, so that's going to increase the cost, more off-page services such as your citations, your foundational links, your social signals for each one of those sites. It all is going to be more. However, you get the advantage from back up here at the top where the site ranks a lot quicker than trying to build a georgiaplumbing.com where you're trying to rank for 50 to 200 or maybe 200-300 cities, depending on how many are in the whole state and how much work you want to put in. It's going to take a lot less time to rank and start seeing conversions from the Valdosta plumbing site than Georgia Plumbing targeting Atlanta and all the big cities and then all the small towns. So there are some of the key factors on the single page sites that are still extremely viable. They work really, really well. Just make sure that you optimize the content on the page, you build good quality links and balance them out with social signals and that sort of stuff. So that way you can maintain your rankings and continue generating revenue and then continue building out more and more of these sites if that's what you so choose. Otherwise, you can certainly go the route of maybe building out small regional sites, or if you wanted to expand to full metro area or full state or full national sites. So I'm going to do some videos just like this with the advantages and disadvantages and how you want to set up your URLs and your silos and that sort of stuff with the bigger sites in upcoming videos. So if you guys like this type of content, I appreciate if you went down below, dropped a like on this video. And if you want to stay up to date on the 31-day challenge and overall just see what I do and share here on the channel, because I share what's going on with my business and some of the stuff that kind of just comes up in my mind and what you guys want to see, be sure to go down below, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so that way you know when the newest videos come live here on the channel. And if you want to get more in-depth training like this, I invite you to check out our workshop that we do right down below. It's one of the first links. And then also if you want to get super in-depth guided training step by step, there's a link right down below to my course plus the done for you website build and SEO services. And the link to that is right down below this video. So I'll see you guys in the next video.